Hello, welcome to another modern stream. Today is No Die Enemy Day, and as such, I was looking for some cool stuff to play, and couldn't really find that much. We played Blue White fairly not that long ago. We played the Blue Red deck as well. We played Rhinos not that long ago. So I was like, is there any deck that I really like and that I haven't played in a while? And it turns out that the answer was yes. This is Yawgmoth. We played Yawgmoth a long time ago at this point, and I've been singing the praises of this deck for months. Basically, since Mishra's Bubble started, I always have been saying that this deck is amazing, that this deck is way better than it looks like. The problem that it has is that it's very hard to play. And we have been seeing that lately with Demonic Tutors, a fellow streamer who has been doing really well with the deck. Has like a crazy amount of trophies in Magic Online. He's been top 18 challenges almost every single week. Like his performance has been outstanding with the deck. And again, it really shows how the deck is way more powerful than the results would show. And the reason for that is that it actually takes a lot of sitting down and mastering the deck in order to do well with it. So we're going to be playing some Yawg today. The deck looks significantly different than it looked the last time I played it. Last time I played it, we were playing 4 copies of Geralt's Messenger, and like the mana base was super shaky. And a lot of things have changed because of Modern Horizons 2, which added both Ignoble Hierarch and Grist, the Hunger Tithe. Grist is just absolutely fantastic in the deck. We can tutor for it, we can evolution for it, and we can just do so many things with it. It just enables just your chords. It gives you champ blockers in the form of the 1/1s. Those 1/1s get turned into cards in -1/-1 counters with Yawgmoth. It's also a removal spell that we can tutor for. The card just does everything that the deck wants, and it does so very efficiently and very effectively as well. So we are going all the way up to 3 copies of Grist, and Geralt's Messenger is kind of left back as solely sort of like a combo piece, of course. The combo being that you can use Yawgmoth Throne Physician in order to use the pay 1 life, sacrifice a creature activated ability, put a +1/+1 counter on up to 1 target creature and draw a card, and you would combo that with Strangleroot Geist and Young Wolf or Geralt's Messenger. So any 2 undying creatures allow you to basically draw as many cards as you have life. And while you're doing that, if you have a Geralt's Messenger, because of the Geralt's Messenger ETB, you would also kill your opponent in the process, and as long as you have more life than they do. There's also a Blood Artist. Blood Artist allows you to just kill with any of these creatures. We don't really need a messenger in play, and it also allows you to stay even in life, meaning that it just doesn't matter what the life total is, as long as it's more than 1, and you can sacrifice your creatures. You can just kill your opponent just by going infinite. I guess as long as you don't deck yourself, because the draw card is not a maze, so you have to make sure that you have enough cards into in the deck so you don't die. Yeah, the rest is, some ramp creatures, Wall of Roots, a classic card that has been bugged on MTGO for literal years, back from when I was playing Kiki Court, so that was a very long time ago. One of Scavenging News, one of Blood Artists, as I was saying, one of Geralt's Messenger. All of these are because we are a Call of Calling Eldritch Evolution deck, so we can tutor for our 1-offs. We also have access to Dryad Arbor, which we can tutor with Cord for just like X = 0. And then the rest of the deck is just the mana base, which is a lot more consistent because we're not trying to play Geist on turn 2 and then Geralt's Messenger on turn 3, which was a very tall order. So now the mana base can be a lot cleaner, a lot easier. We don't need to be playing like a multitude of Twilight Mires and Urborgs in order to just be able to cast our spells. There's also 1 random Thoughtseize, which not sure what the purpose of this is, but again, like, this is the deck list that I just copied from Demonic Tutors. He top-aided the challenge this past weekend, so I just copied and pasted it. I don't know the reasoning behind the 1 of Thoughtseize in the main deck. I assume it's just because we had this random cyber slot that we can save by putting 1 Thoughtseize in the main deck. The sideboard includes some Thoughtsis in the sideboard as well. Outland Liberator as a way to tutor for a removal spell for artifacts or enchantments, which is pretty solid against the artifact decks. One thing that's interesting about the Liberator is that a couple of things. Number one, if your opponent passes the turn and you core for Liberator on their end step, and they don't play a spell on their turn, the dude will actually flip on your turn because Daybound/Nightbound doesn't care about who plays. It does care about who plays the spell. So if your opponent, if you put this into play on your opponent's end step and they don't play a spell, then this thing will actually flip immediately on your turn, which is pretty cool. And the other thing is that this card plays around Torpor, which is an effect that people have been playing a lot of in the sideboard lately because of the Elementals and the 4-color Blink deck. One Scavenging Ooze to go alongside with the main deck one, another tutor target for Graveyard Hate. Necromancia against combo decks, against Rhinos and stuff like that. Endurance against the living ends of the format and like Reanimator or whatever. For a couple of copies of Force of Vigor. This card is fantastic and it's definitely at least a 2-of in all of my green decks. Card just lines up very well against the format right now. Obstinate Bailoff as just a 4-mana 4/4, respecting burn a little bit. Thrawn the Last Troll, respecting control a little bit. And finally, we have access to Crime Punishment. This is an interesting one. Crime is 3 white and a black, put target creature or enchantment from your opponent's graveyard onto battlefield on your control. That's not what we're trying to do here, although it's pretty hilarious that we could actually do this off of a Verse of Paradise against Reanimator or whatever, which could be pretty fun. But the real reason why we're playing this is because of punishment. So X, black and green, destroy each artifact, creature, and enchantment with mana value X. So this is very good against decks like Hammer. It's like engineered explosives that it's just more efficient because you don't need to. I guess it's just as efficient, but you don't need to play it preemptively, so it can get Piety Needle or something. But yeah, this is what we're playing. This is the deck list that we're going to be running through a league, and hopefully we get to know thy enemy. If you're enjoying the content, of course, as usual, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you for round number 1. All right, here we go for round number 1. Okay, we can keep this hand. We can tutor for a creature on turn 3. So we can go turn 1 Wolf, turn 2 Geist. I've been told that the popularity of Hammer is like one of the big reasons to play this deck. I don't know how true that is. I think we're about to find out soon enough. But I understand that this is supposed to be a very good matchup for us. If you can establish a Yo, you can just keep all the creatures off the board. Yeah, I mean, in that it does make sense. It does make sense, but I haven't, I haven't experienced it, So I think I'm gonna save my life total here, as opposed to trying to get a land there. That's potentially a couple. Ugh. That's probably bad. It's probably very bad. So I think we're blocking here. If my opponent does have they do have a hammer. So I guess we die. Yep. Oh, there we go. Great matchup, folks. Great matchup. I mean, this is what makes Hammer the best deck in the format, right? This is exactly what makes Hammer the best deck in the format. You can have a great matchup against it, but sometimes it just doesn't matter. So we definitely want these cards. This is how our mana curve looks like right now. Grist seems actually quite important in order to be able to deal with a hammered up threat. I kind of want to get rid of some 1-drops. kind of want to get rid of some 1-drops. Since my plan is, you know, to crime punishment. So maybe Ignoble, because Birds blocks Yawgmoth. And maybe a Yawgmoth. I think so. Yawgmoth is definitely pretty good at blocking Mem Knights. So there's that, but... Okay. Turn 1, turn 2, turn 3. I'm not sure I'm super excited about this hand. Let's ship it. Well, I'm definitely not excited about this hand. Down to 5 we go. Down to 5 we go. Man, if we had only a single land, I would snap this off. Even with one single land, I'd snap that off. But with 0 lands, probably can't do that. Well, guess we're keeping this. I'm going to bottom the second wall. So here we're going to be able to go like Dried Arbor, Wall, Ignoble on turn 2. So we're going to have 4 mana on turn 3. So if we draw Yawgmoth, we should be... Oops, almost F6. We should be in pretty fine shape. But we have to draw something good here. We can't just... Like, we can't win with what we got, right? We're definitely going to need some help. Okay. Damn it. Okay. Getting there. I do want to get the Geist in play this turn as opposed to an Ignoble Hire, because if I drew Evolution, I can actually sack the Geist itself and I can get rid of my opponent's board with Yawgmoth. So I think it's definitely correct for me to go for the Geist there, as opposed to going for Ignoble Hire. Ugh. That sucks. So now what? Force of Vigor? Okay. Well, I think I'm just cracking this right now. If they have a second Cigar the Sade, sure, they got me, but I think it's better to get rid of the A than getting rid of the hammer. I'm totally gonna get punished here, right? Okay. I guess they just thought that they still had the 8 or something? Yawgmoth. Oh, okay, yeah. So my opponent, MTGO there misunderstood me saying Yawgmoth, and they understood that I said Young Wolf. I think that's what happened. No. MTGO, I said Yawgmoth, not Young Wolf. I mean, it's an understandable confusion, though, right? Of course. That's a pretty good top deck, OP. That's a pretty good top deck. That's a pretty fucking good top deck. God damn it. That's a pretty fucking good top deck. A good top deck deserves another. A good top deck deserves another. Let's go. Give me the Yawg, baby. Alright, so now we have to target here by sacking this. That's a land. So now we target, put a kind of there, sacking there. Always yield. That's a messenger. That's close, but it doesn't do it, unfortunately. I'm trying to look for another Yawgmoth or another Strangleroot Geist. My opponent has conceded from the game. Why? I mean, we were ahead, but I don't think that they were dead. Especially because I was kind of drawing like garbage. I mean, I was going to find the Strangleroot there, and the Strangleroot means that I get to kill the Pure Steel Paladin and probably a bunch of their thingies, so I think I was probably going to win, but anyway. That's nice. That's very, very nice. Okay, so we're on the draw now, so having access to more 1-drops is a little bit more enticing. Nah, this is fine. Maybe Cord for another 1-drop. Yep. Seems like a keepable hand. Turn 2 Grist, turn 3 Force. Don't mind if I do. Memnite. Ornithopter. Paradise Mantle. Okay. I mean, I'm gonna be forcing this, right? So might as well do this now. And I think I want to force this. Here's a bird. The good old 0-mana double Stone Rain, not even attacking. Plus. Maybe I shouldn't have used the fetch land there, because fetch land allows me to go get Dryad Arbor. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Of course, they have the Paladin. We do get to kill the Paladin now, though, which is nice. We still have to deal with the Thopter, though. So play Yawgmoth, play land, sack a creature, kill Paladin, Cord. Okay. Cord is interesting. I feel like I'm gonna need the mana, so I'd rather get rid of that. Springleaf Drum. Okay. So next turn they're gonna get to revive Lurrus. This is Cord for 3. Cord for 2, sorry. That doesn't get me enough, I don't think. The Equalizer. This deck is fantastic. Ugh. So I'm just gonna get Liberator here. Ooh, we're gonna actually see what I was talking about a little bit earlier. Oh, this this is so good. We're gonna see what I was talking about in the introduction. So my opponent's not gonna be able to play a spell here. And I can court for Liberator. Whoo! Blow up your Ursa Saga. Let's go. They rebuy Lurrus, which is obviously pretty solid. Flip my dude. Swing. Bye-bye Saga. I'm gonna plus here because I'm gonna need to be able to minus to kill the Lurrus. Now the question is, do I want to Evo for something? I can Evo away the birds, and that gets me up to 3. What can I do for 3 mana? What can I do for 3 mana? Let's go back to the deck list. Where are you? Deck list. Black, green, Yawgmoth. What can I get for 3 that's worth it? Should I just get a Geist? Dryad is 3 mana, yeah. Because I'm not gonna sack the Liberator, right? I mean, I guess I could go get Giraffe Messenger? Is that even worth it, though? Like, I think I just want to get Geist. Although if I do get the Messenger, that means that I don't have to... No, let's get Geist as a blocker. If I need to blow something up, I can blow it up. With the Trap Breaker. No, because the insect means that my opponent can't attack with Memnite, right? Because the insect trades with Memnite. I don't think that the Verts is more valuable than the insect. Like, we have enough mana. Like, at this point, we have reached 4 mana. The only spell that we're playing for more than 4 mana is gonna be just Chord, and the insect just is the same as far as Chord goes. I'm gonna block with the Geist. I could kill this Thopter by blowing up the Colossus Hammer, but... They're gonna flip my dude back, which sucks. Sack this. Kill that. Play wall. That's a free attack. At this point, I could just crack the Liberator, actually. Yeah, maybe that was a mistake. Maybe I should have attacked with the Geist there. The upside is pretty high, but that means that like my opponent needs to not play anything here, and they missed the land drop last turn, so they clearly have a spell. So at that point, I'm just gonna. So the correct play would be to block with Geist, and now we kill the Colossus Hammer, and that kills the Ornithopter. Probably gonna go with Shadow Spear, I assume. Good showing for the Outland Liberator this game. Really good showing for the Outland Liberator. Colossus Hammer. So they have a Paladin. That sucks. Cigar the Sade. Yep. That's sort of a problem. That is sort of a problem. So now they're going to be able to kill the Grist. We really want to find... So if they drew another Hammer, we're dead. Because we can't block. They didn't because they are attacking Grist, so... Easy clap. The easiest of claps. The easiest of claps. To be fair, Core wins. So we have 3 cores to draw towards, 3 Yawgmoths, 4 evolutions. The likelihood of us winning here was pretty high. Sweet. 1-0. Alright, round number 2. No land there. Ship it. Hey, there we go. Ship it. Okay, this hand is pretty solid, so we're gonna keep this, bottom that. Bottom a land? I can't bottom a land, right? Just bottom the Yawgmoth. I probably need the Yawgmoth. Just bottom a land. Now the question is, do I Thoughtseize on 1? Should I Thoughtseize on 1 or should I... I think I'm going to Thoughtseize on 1. My opponent also moves to 5. It's really awkward when you want to say good luck to your opponent because they're being like nice in chat, and then like we both mull to 5, so seems kind of ironic. Alright, Dragon Johns, what do you got? I think with my opponent mulling to 5, I'm just going to turn 1 Thoughtseize. That can't be good for me. There's no way this can be good for me. Oh yeah, apparently this matchup is unwinnable. Apparently this matchup is unwinnable. That's what I hear. That's what I've heard demonic tutors say. This matchup is insanely bad for us. For multiple reasons, you know, we have no ways to interact with 4/4s, we have no ways to interact with the cascade mechanic, and also there's the fact that, well, you know, they're playing Fury, so that's also not great for us. I think I'm gonna pass here, and I'm going to... If my opponent goes for Dead Gone, I'm going to Chord for... I'm gonna Chord for Dryad Arbor. Because I really have to cast this this Grist next turn. That feels like the only way that I can possibly win this, so... I need to be able to punish my opponent for missing their land drops. Like, I just have to. So the best way to do that is to get a Grist into play. Oh, don't force me, bro. Oh, they can't force this. They literally cannot force the Grist. That's hilarious. Opponent packs it in. It's pretty sick. All right. Okay, so let's get those Necromancias in there. Crime Punishment looks fantastic. With this deck, I've heard from Demonic that it actually should sometimes just be played as a weak limited Glimback major deck a lot of time. Yeah. You have a really bad... You have a really bad, like, just random limited chaff plan, but it actually does work. I think that Demonic Tutors often cuts Eldritch Evolution against Force decks. And I think I'm cutting a bird. Maybe we want Thron. Seems pretty weak. Like, it kind of lines up okay against Rhinos specifically, but ugh. I am gonna cut a couple of birds because, you know, Fury is very good against Birds of Paradise. Fury is a heck of a magic card. Fury is a heck of a magic card. And there's not that much that we can do about it. Ooh. Keep this. Turn 1 Ignoble, turn 2 Necromancia. Don't mind if I do. We even get to play around Blood Moon. Okay. Okay, so like we're gonna get shocked. Does that mean that I don't play Ignoble Hierarch? No, it doesn't, because I'm gonna have to do this eventually. Like, I'm gonna have to play through their shock anyway. So, like, I'd rather just get it out of their hand so I don't get, you know, something bounced later on. The Rhinos deck is just so messed up. Yep. They're just doing all the scripted stuff. They're just making all the scripted plays. Like, turn 1, shock your thing. Turn 2, like, fire ice you. Turn 3, Rhinos. Yep. Can I beat this? Yes, I need to find Crime Punishment. It's the only way that I win. It's the only way that I win. Just Crime Punishment. Crashing Footfalls. Okay, so my opponent is indeed playing 3 copies of Blood Moon. Jesus. They have the 1 of Murktide, they have the 4 Furies. Goblin Lucky with the raid, thank you so much for that. Welcome everybody from Lucky's stream. We're playing some Yogg here. We're yogging it up. We did get to Necromantia my opponent on turn 3, but it was not fast enough. So we're still facing 10 power on the other side of the battlefield. How are the gobos? Having fun playing Modern? I saw that you got the trophy with goblins, only drop 1 game. That's awesome. That's awesome, Lucky. Love to see it. Love to see it. Oh, the hand? So their hand was double outburst, right? Well, now their entire deck's gonna be revealed. Their hand was double outburst and a gemstone caverns. I forgot that it doesn't point out what the thing is. And I'm dead. Okay. If I had drawn Crime Punishment there, we would have been able to blow up the Rhinos and play a blocker for the Shardless Agent, so we may have been able to stabilize, but we had to draw exactly the one-off. So this looks good. They're playing 3 Blood Moons, so maybe I want some number of forces. I don't think I do. I'm on the play too, so let's just go with this. It's not easy for us to play through a Blood Moon, but it's definitely possible. The one lander. Okay, turn 3 Necromantia on the play. I'm going to send the Yavimaya. Oh, come on. Ugh. That is so brutal. That is so brutal. That is such a good Gemstone Caverns. That is such a good Gemstone Caverns. That's incredible. Devastating. Absolutely devastating. Okay. I mean, I'm going to go for it. That's a hand. Exile, exile, exile. Take a picture of this real quick. Pass the turn. So this coming turn I can go Wall of Roots into Geist into Crack Nurturing Peatland. So we see the Tarn. I don't think that's something that I want to do. Swing. Gonna bounce something. Petty theft. Okay. That does put on a little bit of pressure. So their hand is triple dead gone. Sure. Not bad. Swing for 2. Let's see if my opponent shocks here. They do. Not a great exchange for them. Play land. Grist. Wall. And I think I'm killing this. I know that they can shock this, but this forces them to use the card. And we can start spitting out 1/1s now. The art in this card is just so macabre. I kind of love it. Geists of the hanged often haunt the tree on which they died. It's pretty cool. Promo version is very cool too. Maybe I've seen it. So now we're just gonna die to these stupid rhinos. Damn it. Just don't draw good cards, please. Yeah, that sucks. That definitely sucks. So at least core this live. At least core this live and we can go get probably Thrun. Three. That's a 2/2. What happened with Amulet? Not good anymore. Every Friday we play tier 1 decks or like decks that are popular in the metagame that I think are good or are fun. Alright. My opponent just top decked a lot better than I did. A lot better than I did. So yeah, there's that. See you in the next round. Alright, an actual good hand. Let's keep it. Spirebluff Canal. So it's a little bit weird, but I think I want to go with Yawgmoth as opposed to Ignoble Hierarch. This is better if my opponent's playing a monkey. Oh, they're playing Living End. Okay, so sadness. They are playing Living End, so sadness. What do you think about not playing Ursa Saga and Amulet right now? Here in Brazil, this card is very difficult to get and not affordable at all. I mean, Ursa Saga is one of the main reasons why the deck is playable. So, I mean, you can play it without, but like you just have to know that you're just playing a much worse deck, right? I mean, if you can't afford it, obviously you can't afford it, right? Like, it's just what it is. But yeah, I don't think the deck is definitely not good enough without Ursa Saga, for what's worth. I'm very confused about what's going on over there. They have basic forest in their living in deck. Petty theft. Okay. And I'm gonna do this again. It's not like I have too many options, so. Okay, we're getting a bird. I guess that if we do, I can court for 2. It's probably not enough. We do have the main deck Scavenging, so I can exile all of my opponent's stuff in response to them doing something. So that's pretty cool. That's like not taking a draw step. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They're playing the Grief version. I get a bird back. I can float a mana. Because the issue that I have with this is that I'm out of gas. So I think I'm just going to court for Yawg. So I'm going to court for Yawg and I'm just going to sack everything and draw a bunch of cards. So X equals 4. Force of negation. Okay, so I guess it didn't matter. Okay. Really? Okay. It's pretty rough. Right on time, boy. So we can start eating my own graveyard, I guess, and grow this Kusi. I don't know, maybe I can race this. Block there. If I eat the grist... Wait, if I leave in it, I get back grist, right? If I leave in it, I get back grist. That's kind of sick. Intake Noble. Evolution. Three. This doesn't get anything. We're just gonna get another Grist here. Yeah, Force. Okay. Play that. And I attack with everything, I think. They can block the Yawgmoth, but that means that they take actually lethal, right? 5, 6, 7, 8. That looks lethal to me. Boom. Game 1. This Endurance card looks pretty good. This Necromancer card also looks pretty good. This Scavenging Ooze card also looks pretty good. We're getting to the point where I just have too many good cards, so something will have to give. Something has to give here. So we cut the Evos. We cut the Evos. We bring in another Thoughtseize. Baloth. Let's bring in one more Thoughtseize. And I'm cutting the 1-drops because I think that the 1-drops are not great against the card Living End. Grist is such a house. Well, the issue with evolution is what we saw right there, right? Like my opponent's playing forces. So like evolution just kind of by design does not work out well, while Chord of Calling I can cast it on my opponent's turn. So Chord of Calling is great against counter spells, while evolution is just bad. This is exactly the game that the counterspell gamers want me to play, while this plays actually very well against it. Cutting the Thoughtseize. Maybe I shouldn't be cutting the Thoughtseize there. Am I keeping this one? Probably not. Another mull to 5. It's pretty wild how many times I've mulled to 5 in this league. I guess I'm mull to 4. Mull to 3. I was not expecting white Leyline. Imagine if my cards just did anything, you know? Imagine if my cards did anything at all. Alright, alright. I've seen enough. That was very funny, actually. That was very, very funny. Oh, this hands, man. No interaction at all. No interaction, no way to speed things up. This hand's good. Like, even if my opponent, you know, if they get something good going, if they get a ley line going, like we're still fine. Like obviously we're golden against the ley line, but grief. Imagine this takes the endurance. Which is pretty good. Them taking the endurance there is kind of a big deal. Now we can Yawg on turn 3. Basic forest, black, black. Oh, that's right, you have to do this first. So they can potentially do the thing here, but can we find an endurance off the top? One time. Womp womp. We're probably dead now. Unless I find another... Probably need to find another Yawgmoth there. Oops, not what I want to do. Wait. Or cycle there. Grist. Does that do anything? Not really, right? That doesn't do anything. I'm gonna play the guys there because it's better if I top deck exactly Yawgmoth, which is the only way that I can potentially get out of this. They have Outburst. Yeah, sure. Gonna take 11 down to 6. Looking pretty dead out here. That's a Yawgmoth. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7. Let's say that I go get Scavenging Ooze. We have fodder for grief. We're gonna take 4 in the air. I can eat 1, 2, 3, 4 things. I think I have to do that. And then I can eat 2 things here. Scavenging Ooze. Eat the grief. And now I can chomp the Riverwinder. Block. Block. Well, I guess I have to chomp. Take 4, 6. Yeah, we're dead. That turn 1 grist. Pretty good. Right on time. Alright, see you next round. Okay, we got a turn for Yawgmoth here. Seems serviceable enough. Playing against the Lurrus deck. This art is so good. Island into Hedron Crab. JB Bomb Bomb with the tier 1 sub. Thank you for that subscription. Welcome to the Primetime Stronghold. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for supporting the stream. I imagine this matchup is heinous for us. Could be wrong about that, but I struggle to think how this could be good for us. I mean, I'm gonna get to kill the Hedron Crab, so unless they mill a Yawgmoth here and they surgical me, we're gonna get to resolve Yawg. Alright. Opponent very smart, not blocking there. And we're probably just killing this right now. If they have surgical, we kind of get got because they can just surgical the Yawgmoth. Out of here with your stupid crab. Out of here with your stupid crab. It's a lot of islands. Do we win? Am I getting surgical here? Hopefully not. It's a lot of stops there that my opponent's making. I don't like that. I don't like those stops. Body counter there, sack there. Save targets. Yield, yield. Are you dead, please? Yes. Body counter there, sack there. Body counter there, sack there. Body counter there, sack there. Guess my opponent's one of those, huh? TG player has a 15% bonus buck starting in 40 minutes. Time to use the link. Holy shit. That sounds great. I think I actually do have to get a couple of cards. Yeah, you gotta love it when your opponent makes you go through it for no reason whatsoever. You should be punished for playing on the combo deck. I will punish you for playing your silly combo deck. Because you made my life miserable because you're playing a combo deck, I will make your life miserable. Ha 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 ha. That's totally my opponent's voice. They totally sound like that. Okay, so they didn't show me any black spells, and they just show me 2 basic islands and 1 Shell Dog, so Pimolans with the Prime sub coming back for the full year. 1 entire year. It's pretty hot. That's pretty hot. And Ivan with the tier 1 sub coming back for 5 months. Thank you so much, everybody, for the support. Greatly, greatly appreciate it. I don't think I can go too much higher than 60. Because at that point, like, this is not Amulet. If I go above 60, like, my lands to spell ratio is gonna get completely off balance, and I'm just not gonna hit my land drop, so I can probably go up to 62 or 63, and just, like, past that, things get a little bit dicey. I kind of want this Scavenging Ooze, but that's it. That's the only card, really, that I could be interested in. Could just cut the cords altogether. Maybe cut the Evos altogether. Let's actually do that. Sure. Another turn 3 Yawg. Can't complain about turn 3 Yawg. Doesn't get that much better than that. One drop. One drop. Easy one drop. That's a crab. I don't like the crab. So many basic islands. Is my opponent just playing mono blue? I mean, they can't be playing mono blue. They have Lurrus. Why do they have so many basic lands? Should I be the menace and play Belcher combo at locals tonight? Wow, that's just so mean. That is so mean. Turn 2 Titan sounds better than turn 3 Yawg. That checks out. Yeah, you're right, common sense. I mean, it's simply common sense to think about that. Thank you so much for the 15 months supporting the channel. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Well, this hand's not working out well, huh? Scavenging Ooze. Just war fixing my opponent's mana. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Fantastic seed list. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. You know what's up. You know what is up. Yeah, Ancestral's pretty good there. Whew, there we go. Play this thing. Play this other thing. So I just have to hope that they don't have lands and they don't have spells, and then I get to chord for another endurance and shuffle my graveyard. Damn it, they have lands. Do they not have spells? Maybe they only have lands. Maybe they only have lands, and that's the way that I win this. There's one endurance. All the endurances are gone. Dude. Brutal. Alrighty, what do we got here? Yeah, just submit. Just submit. Just submit. Is this matchup just like horrible? It does seem like it should be horrible. I'm not 100% sure about it, but it does feel like it should be a horrible matchup for us. We've been playing against a lot of horrible matchups today. Yes! Yes! A million times yes. Alright, this hand's pretty good. Keep Send the Cord, because we don't have that much mana. Finally beat the bullet on Silent MTGO. Feels good to finally be back playing 6 mana 6/6s. Yep, it's a good time to be playing 6 mana 6/6s right now. It's a fine time. What's up, Mr. Suri? How you doing? Please don't have a crab. Please don't have a crab. Sweet. Boom, getting there. The young and the reckless. I guess the young and the scavenging. Crab, okay. Okay. So now we can grow ooze. That's not terrible. Cola Cacao with the tier 1 sub, coming back for 7 months. Appreciate the support, Cola Cacao. How's it going? Surgical? Surgical, my blood artist. Yeah, you got me. That's so good to me. I mean, at the same time, it's almost like a forced play for my opponent, because if I untap with Scavengers, then they can't do anything with that Surgical. But with the Yawgmoth in play, it's kind of sketchy. Little Donnie with the tier 1 sub. Thank you so much, Donnie, for 18 months supporting the stream. Really appreciate it. Just gonna do the thing where I eat my own dudes. What's my favorite band, genre of music? Been looking for more stuff to listen to. You seem like a good source of knowledge. I would not only call it knowledge, I would also call it wisdom, first of all. And second of all, I'm very much earing towards, like, I became serious about music while listening to progressive metal music. And the more that time went by, I started to listen to other stuff. And as more time went by, I started to, go back to go back to listening to prog metal. So lots of things in that sense, but so I think I'm just going to Grist here. Actually, let's actually main face Endurance, and I'm gonna Endurance myself. It effectively counters the Fracture Sanity and a bunch of things. It puts a 3/3 in play. It makes it so my opponent can't Ancestral, and it also makes it so we can continue putting pressure on this crab. But yeah, 406 LOL, thank you for the Prime sub. Coming back for 8 months. Woo indeed. Woo indeed. I mean, Prog Metal is not necessarily faster, it's just like it's more dynamic. And my favorite bands include, there's a band that I really like called ACT. That is ACT. Then there is Thank You Scientist, which I've been kind of obsessed for quite a bit now. What else? There's Carnival, which has been, which in my opinion has recorded the best album ever recorded, which is called Sound Awake. That's my favorite album of all time. Yeah, that's a good top deck. -2. Suck a dude. Kill your crab. Gent is considered prog metal. It's a variation, yeah. It's a variation of prog metal. Gojira. Yeah, Gojira, I don't think Gojira would be Gent. If I think of Gent, I would think more of bands like what's the name of this band? Meshuggah, there we go. But yeah, and there's like different subgenres of prog. You have like Gent, as you were saying. So there's more like if you listen to bands like Transatlantic or, you know, old school Genesis, like those are a little bit more symphonic prog. So those are cool. Then there's like more folk prog. Folk prog is more like Jethro Tull and stuff like that. There are multiple subgenres of prog, which is cool. Like, it's one of the reasons why I like it. I like the genre so much, right? It's just like there's just so much, and it kind of feels like it just never runs out. It just feels like the more that you get into it, the more stuff that you find. And in the meantime, we beat Mill. Sweet. This card. I love this card. Probably one of my favorite cards printed in the past like 3 years or something. See you for the last round. Another no-lander. And now we have a 5-lander. The highs and the lows. Another no-lander. Down to 4 we go. Another no-lander. Jesus. I mean, I guess we're keeping this. The amount of no-landers, like mults to 5 and less that I've had this league have been ridiculous. I'm just going to see what my opponent's up to, and then I'm just going to concede. I'm not going to show them anything. They're playing Mill. So we secretly mulliganed to... Secretly mulliganed as a strategy. So we cut the Evas, and we're running Thought Seizes, right? This is what we did last time. We did win the last match, and somehow we got paired against Mill again. Somehow we run into back-to-back Mill, and both times we mull to 5 or something like that. both game ones. But I think my opponent also mulling into 5 in game 1. Is this a keepable hand? What the fuck? Can we actually draw keepable hands? Crazy. So crazy. Yeah, this is a pretty decent hand. Of course we drew the Dry Arbor. I have a very strong ability to draw a Dried Arbor in my opening hand. Like regardless of which deck or format I play. It is particularly something that happens in Legacy because I tend to play Green Sun Zenith decks in Legacy a lot. And boy, do I have a skill. Boy, do I have a skill. So this is pretty nice. We get to wall into Geist. Swing for 3. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. And we can core for... Should we core for Yawg? Well, Yawg's probably getting surgical now. So that sucks. There's also endurance there. It's not looking good. Tommy, you see me playing Legacy here and some Maverick Zenith deck. I'm surprised you don't play 12 posts given your low from Miltani. Would you ever run a stream with Legacy 12 posts? I could, but the issue that I have with 12 posts is that it's just very monotonous to me. The whole reason why I like Zenith decks is that they are not repetitive, right? Like every game is just unique because you have so many possibilities and you have so many options. You can tutor for stuff. The issue with post is that it's just actually the opposite of that. Like 12 post is linear. You're just trying to ramp towards your prime times, and then your prime times find your big dudes, and that's it. Like you're always doing the same thing every time. While Zenith decks like Maverick and stuff, well, stuff like Maverick, on the contrary, like you always have to navigate the game in a different way, and you have to figure out what the best, based on that specific game, you have to like wager in like what matters, what doesn't, like how do you play around X, how do you play around Y, which is what makes the strategy interesting to me. But the rest of the parts for 4-color mono tribal deck, it's a good one. It's definitely a good one, Jesus. Well, here goes nothing. Here goes nothing. Probably drawn the log, counterspell, extirpate my Yawgmoth. Okay. What do you think of the Fury plan? I bought them because they're cheap right now, but do they fit? I don't know. I saw Nassif playing Fury in the 4-color deck. Seems fine. Like I don't see why not. I don't see why not. Here's hoping the Grist can go the distance. Hey Scott, how's it going? So opponent can like push my Geist and then Soul Guide. Should be pretty good, but it seems like they don't have it. That's good for me. That is definitely good for me. Here comes for the Mages. Exalted pretty bad against removal here. Not that we really have any other option. Like if my opponent does have anything going on. Like I wish I could, you know, split my attackers, but it is what it is. Yep. I imagine they're gonna crack that, right? So really looking forward to drawing like a Giralf's Messenger. That would be pretty good. That's brutal. That sucks. Would love to draw stuff that I can cast. Crystal to one time. Yeah, I doubt that's gonna happen. Field of Ruin. Attack? Question mark? Messenger? Question mark? No! Don't have a counter. God damn it. If we untap and they Tasha's me again, I'm gonna flip the table, Chad. I'm gonna flip the table. That's fine, I can beat that. I will not get that. Don't have an archive trap. Just don't. God damn it. Oh, I hate this deck. I hate Mills so much. I hate Mills so much. Sadness. Sadness. Alright. Alright, to wrap things up, this deck is really hard to play. This deck is really hard to play. I lost some games during these leagues that it sure felt like I could have won if I knew what I was doing, mainly in terms of knowing what matters, like just trying to balance, okay, should I be trying to be a little bit more proactive? Should I be trying to go for more of a combo style finish? Like, should I try to protect my combo, or should I try to aggressively try to get the game done by attacking and killing my opponent? So like, Sometimes in a couple of spots, I just wasn't able to correctly assess my role in the matchup, and I was very, very punished for it. Also, in terms of sequencing, the sequencing can be a little bit challenging. Like when you're playing, do you turn one Thoughtseize or do you turn one Birds or do you turn one Yawgmoth? That kind of stuff can be pretty tricky as well. There's also the fact that we we mulliganed insanely. Like I can't remember the last time that I had as many move to fives or less in a single league. And today I think I broke all sort of records. Like we definitely drew way below average, I would say, on this league in particular. So I was shipping a bunch of no landers, and I was shipping a bunch of like 5-6 landers. So it is definitely like a new and different experience than what I'm used to, and it plays on a very different axis. As far as this deck list goes, there are a couple of things that I didn't quite understand. Like the one thoughts is in the main deck seems super random to me. Like this card seems just bad. Like I'd much rather have access to like a one-off tutor target than Thoughtseize. Like I don't know if the Outland Liberator, though that's definitely an option. Like a Thrun or Obstinate Bailout. Like it just seems like Thoughtseize is not a card that I would want in my main deck. Like you get paired against Burn and you get super punished by having this card. Like there are a bunch of matchups where just having access to the one-off Thoughtseize is just not relevant enough in order to matter. And you are playing 8 copies of actual tutors, so not using this slot for a tutor target seems kind of confusing to me. I understand the will to want to free up cyborg slots, but I'm not sure that the one of Thoughtseize is the correct place to go here. Besides that, 21 lands is probably correct, but I don't know. I don't want to be too results oriented when thinking about it, but I mean, I kind of want to have one more land, and the reason for that is that the deck is really mana hungry, particularly when it gets going. Like multiple times, I found myself in situations where I need to find a land, or even worse, I need to find a land that taps for black, or something like that, you know. And when I found myself in those situations, like sure, once you get Yawgmoth going, like it's fine, but like you're trying to hit your fourth, you're trying to hit your Yawgmoth, right? And you're trying to do that ahead of schedule. There's like a shit ton of removal right now in the format, so your dorks are very, very unreliable. Like the walls are fine, like the walls actually are fairly relevant, but I don't think that 8 copies of ignoble and birds, so maybe I could see cutting like a bird or an ignoble and making room for one more land there. That way you don't have to ship as many cards, because you have like a one lander that you keep with a dork and then they kill your dork and then you lose the game on the spot. So you can minimize situations like that one. And also the deck is pretty mana hungry, because like once you get Yawgmoth going, not only are you drawing infinite cards, but you also have the proliferate ability and you have a bunch of other ways to take advantage of your mana. So even if you are, quote unquote flooding, it only takes one Yawgmoth or Evolution or Code of Calling to get the Yawgmoth, and then all of a sudden you have a ton of things to do with your mana. So I'm not sure that 21 is where I would go. It could be the correct number. Again, I have nowhere as many matches as Demonic Tutors or the other people that are working on the deck, of course. So the fact that they chose to arrive at 21 lands, it's probably, it's probably the correct thing to do. But it still felt like I was shipping a lot of hands. I was shipping a lot of openers because they had only one land and I couldn't do anything, or they had just 0 land straight up. So... And because Dried Arbor doesn't really count as a land, right? Whenever you're seeing if you're seeing an opener with Dried Arbor and a land, this is a one lander. Like this is not really a 2-lander, right? Like it's so risky to have your land drop be the Dried Arbor and then it just gets killed by a breeze. So that is something that it's interesting to me, and I do wonder, why we ended up looking at 21 sources with a deck that is so mana hungry, right? Like so many times you want to be double spelling and you just simply can't because your curve doesn't allow you to it, because you're maybe missing a land drop or two. So I don't know if you want to add like a third peatland or something, if you want to, hedge against flooding or whatever. Um, but playing only 20 lands in a deck like this, I remember back in the day of the pod decks or the Absent Company decks, and what we would see would be 22 or 23 lands at the least. So this deck playing 20 lands and a Dryad Arbor it definitely feels like it's low. Like, and these decks are even more mana hungry than the pod decks, right? Like the pod decks wanted to like do Eternal Witness stuff, but like you could only cast pod for 3, you could cast Eternal Witness for 3, and Eternal Witness found your fetch land. Like, we don't really have those options here. Like, you actually need to draw your lands in order to cast your spells, and Yawgmoth costing 4 is not a joke. Like, it's a lot of mana. So those are my thoughts. It was fun though. It was fun. Once the deck got going, I thought that it was super skill intensive, and again, I feel like I did throw a couple of games in the garbage because of my inexperience, but that's what Know Thy Enemy is all about. So these are the kind of games that we want to see. If you did enjoy the content, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and bye bye.